Hello Facebook, it's me Elsa, coming to you with my life story. I also wanted to share my shirt with you. It's shot by Elsa. Don't forget to do so. I do notary, Spanish translator, retail. I teach English and Spanish as well. So today I'm going to share with you a daily devotion, okay? A devotional book that I brought from Walmart for $19.99. Today is August 19th. Timing 7:37 a.m. in the morning. And it says here, in the love, keep yourselves in God's love as you wait for the Lord Jesus Christ with his mercy to give you life forever. It's a simple but profound admonition. Keep yourselves in God's love. What does it mean to keep yourself in God's love? Perhaps it's easier to picture what it doesn't mean. A heart that isn't in God's love is a heart that is accusatory and angry. When it sees calamity of suffering, instead of trusting that God is still love, it accuses him of being cruel and distant. Nothing delights God more than a heart of faith that says, despite what I might see or experience, I still believe that you are a God of love. I still believe that you are a God of love. Our temptation will be to leave the love of God when we face hardship. I'll read that one again. Our temptation will be to leave the love of God when we face hardship. So in our words, when it get hard for us, we forget about the Lord and the love he got for us, because we blinded so much in sorrow, and we don't think that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? That is why we are admonished to keep ourselves there. Admonished to keep ourselves there, even if it takes all of our strength to do so. It says at the bottom, how do you remain in God's love? By holding on to dear faith. Amen. All right, today, a couple of our topics. One is going to be about sexual harassment at the workplace. We're going to start there, and we're going to also start with cyberbullying, gang stalking, and stuff like that. Well, I would say there was a guy who came to buy, he's seen the yard sale sign in the yard. It was a Mexican guy. He's seen the yard sale in the yard, and he was like, hey, are you selling any shoes? I didn't see a wife, I didn't see a daughter. I was like, yeah, I'm selling things. It's a lot of work for me to take it outside, so I invite them inside. Yeah. When he came in, he was asking me, did I have a lawyer? I told him, I don't know what you mean, like a lawyer. Like, he asked me, am I a lawyer? I said, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a public resourcer. Like, if I know, how to answer your question, I will. And that's for the public use as well. So, anyhow, he comes in and he wanted a size 8 of men's shoes. I sold out of size 8, so I couldn't provide him with specific shoes that he wanted for himself. So he said he had a daughter and that he would like to invest in getting her some shoes. Excuse me, I have coffee. And, you know, he says, he wanted to invest in his daughter some shoes. So we went around looking for a size for his daughter. And we eventually found like a size 6 because, you know, the other shoes was too big for her. So he found a size 6. He brought the size 6 and he went to asking me, do I go to the gym? And I'm like, yeah, I go to the gym. It's like, oh, okay. Do you have a girlfriend? I mean, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have company? And I'm like, no, I'm single. Why? He's like, oh, you're very cute and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, thank you. And, you know, I remain positive and respectful when it comes to my customers, you know. But as we eased out, you know, I had to walk him and escort him outside, of course, in a matter of a way. I escorted him outside. Yeah. Better. I escorted him outside. Basically, me and him walked outside, and, you know, I kept feeling something graze against my butt. And I'm like, am I kidding? Like, what is this? And when I look, I'm like, seeing him comfortably, thinking that it's okay to grab my butt. You know, he was asking some weird question as if he knows I go to the gym or I don't know, and, you know. He went to grazing because, you know, the Mexican guy, we were only speaking Spanish. I don't even think he knew English. So he'd say he was like 34. He didn't look 34. He said he had a wife and a daughter, but she lives like Tampa maybe. So yeah, I guess he would have to send the shoes or take it to her. So I don't know if it's been something, you know, how you say it? Curiosity killed the cat, you know. Excuse me. I mean, you know, basically what I mean by that is I feel as though a lot of people is curious about who I am. You know, am I single? Am I taking any offers? Stuff like that. What does she do for a living to be able to keep going? And it's not easy, okay? It's not a walk in the park. I have my good days, I have my bad. My good outweigh my bad. I have to remain positive, by all means. I can't let my kids see me, you know, chewed up and spit back out every day, you know. Basically looking a hot mess, you know, or just, no. I can't do that to my kids because it's gonna rub off. It's gonna rub off. So he touched my butt and I was like, excuse me, can you not touch my butt? That is very disrespectful. Well, do you have any family members or anything or any friends that you can put me down with? I was like, excuse me, sir, I totally apologize. I don't even have anybody for my family in Cuba, and they always ask, you know, hey, you know, do you have a homegirl? I'm like, you know, I can't put nobody down with anyone. I'm, you know, fortunately, I'm not a love doctor, you know. So I basically told him in all words, I don't know, you know. And anytime you need a notary or anything of that sort, before the end came around, before he even touched my butt, I gave him the contact information for the business, which is the phone number, so he can be able to, and I didn't give him my direct number, I gave him a secondary number, so he can be able to, before he touched my butt, you know, do notary or whatever else public resources information he needs. Yeah. So he touched my butt. I told him not to touch my butt. And he looked as if it's a little too late. And he got in the car and said if I find someone to put him down with, he'll keep calling and stuff like that. And it was so weird. I mean, I have cameras, so he was recorded. I have cameras inside and outside my house, the whole 360, even hidden, for my protection and my children's protection. You know what I mean? Even on my car. Yeah. Now, back to cyberbullying. Remember I told you guys we're gonna mention something about cyberbullying. Well, the reason I say cyberbullying or gang stalking is because one day, I think it was, let's say about a week ago, someone was, I'd say about 2 weeks ago, I put up dogs, like Merles and bullies and, nice dogs. And a friend of mine, who's like a friend of the family, he's like a friend of the family, of course. And I asked him, I say, hey, I wanted a dog, but is it okay that I also promote your dogs? And he was like, sure. And he was telling me he'll give me a certain amount for if I buy a dog for him, he'll give me a discount. And if he sells dog for that same price of what I was, my discount, or whatever. So he were in favorable, give me the percentage since, basically we were like becoming business partners, good business partners when it comes to the Merles and the bullies. Anyway, I put it on social media. I put it on Facebook, I put it on Instagram, I put it on Twitter. Not only did I put it on Twitter, I put it on Snapchat. I put it in a spotlight of Snapchat. Yeah. I put it, I believe, on Twitter as well. It was a young lady. I don't know if it was a young lady or a young man. I'm not behind that phone. But she was like, hey, I want a dog. I'm like, sure. Here's the number to the primary caretaker for the dogs, the owners, and you can reach out to them. She goes again, hey, I want a dog. I try to, accommodate and be absolutely 101% respectful when it comes to my customer, my potential customer. So she was like, I want a dog. And I was like, I gave you the number. And she was like, you act like you don't want to give me the information. I'm like, I gave you the information. I told her I gave you the phone number. It's more hands-on. You can reach out to him. My brother wants the dog. That's who wants the dog, she says. I'm like, no worries. Reach out to the number I gave you. She was like, okay, so what's the Instagram for the dogs, for the bullies? Because nowadays people are making Instagrams for their pets and stuff and children or whatever. And she was like, at the end of the day, I need the Instagram. You act like you don't want to give me the Instagram. And I'm like, wow. Give me one moment, I told her. So I had to reach out to the primary caretaker to get the Instagram information. You know what I mean? So she can be able to reach out, not ignoring the customer, potential customer, you know what I mean? And when I communicated with her about, that situation right there, she was eventually got the Instagram. I gave her, and then she got upset with me and started ranting negativity I can't take it. I had to block it. You know, I had to block the negativity, fortunately. And that's what I did. So, just recently we had someone wanted a baby crib. And they were like, I don't have any, due to security reasons, I can't do the purchase on Facebook, right? And I was like, oh, okay. So, do you have Cash App? Do you have Zelle? Do you have PayPal, anything? And he was like, he has PayPal. Papi, tú tienes que entrar ahí porque yo está haciendo un trabajo aquí por YouTube, preparando la libro. Pues para sentarte para allá, papi. Hazme un favor, papi. So, yeah. Just recently, someone wanted a baby crib. It was a guy. He gave me the complete full address on where he wanted it sent to. He says, I want the baby crib. He says he sent the money to PayPal. Look in the email. So as he said, he will not release the money until I give him a tracking number. So what I did was I prepared the order, of course, the baby crib. I go to UPS. I try to at least get a label. Find out, they told me even before I even went there that I would have to pay for basically additional the shipping fee. And he was basically like, yeah, give him a tracking number and he'll be able to send it. So as I'm sitting in UPS, because I'm a single mother, I do everything by myself. I have no help, Of course, I might have the here and there, but most of the time, it's just me, And, yeah, so I, of course I grab the baby crib and I go to, again, I go to the United States Postal Service and I say, you know what? Let me call PayPal and do the option of, let me call PayPal and do the option to, what do you call it? An option to call back. So, I waited in in the United States Postal Service. I didn't do the label. I didn't do anything. So I'm sitting there and I'm like waiting. And then they call back and I speak to the PayPal department and they told me when I explained to them, hey, something is fishy about this order and I see it's pending. Do you see that it went through? She said, baby, I'm assuming that it's a scam. So that was a red flag. So, me assuming it was a red flag, I told him, I said, hey, it's a red flag and then or whatnot, and I can't accommodate you. And I believe he blocked me, but I did wind up speaking to him. Sorry, my lips are ashy. I did wind up speaking to him. Ya se tomate ya. No vaya a ser no cosa. So I did speak to him, and go ahead. I did speak to him. Sorry guys, I have to tend to my son here. Is that good? Vaya dentro de la cuarto a ver televisión. Dale. God. Jesus. Every mom should agree. But anyway, like, our babies. So when I spoke to the guy, he sounded like he was like, African or something. It was an African guy in Opalaka that was trying to scam me. He said he was Jamaican, but I heard that, you know, the accent, and I asked him, I say, what's your nationality? Sounds African. He's like, no, I'm Jamaican. So I've been getting a lot of stalking and gang stalking and stuff, annoying stuff going on. You go to the gym, are you single, and what she got going on in her life, and curiosity and stuff, and a lot of curious people. Ay, pobrecito. So yeah, that's one thing about gang stalking I wanted to share with you guys. I also wanted to share with you guys that I don't think I ever shared with you guys. One time when I was little, I say I was about a rough 8 years old. I was 8 years old, and you know, I was, you know, telling my dad, you know, that whatever you're accommodating my grandmother, whatever you're giving my grandmother to help me, she's not sticking to the, you know, she's not sticking to anything. She's not basically doing much, you know. She's not basically, you know, me just being a brat, telling my dad, hey, that's what grandma's doing. She's not tending to me. She's tending more to my other little sister, and she's barely, you know, cooking. She works a lot, so, you know, she warm up some noodles type of stuff. So, you know, me just being a brat, call my dad. This is what's going on in the house. This is it. My dad comes over, catches the bus. I'm like, Dad, I'm hungry. So he'll catch the bus. He don't care what time it is to bring me food. At that time, he didn't have transportation, so he brought the bus. He brought the food to my grandmother's front door. And my dad, he likes to talk. He likes to communicate. Oh my God, when he likes to talk, you want to run because his conversations are serious. You be like, oh, papi, please, ayo mío, pero ¿qué más? What else? What else? What else you have to say, Bobby? Like, is that it? Because he can talk. So he gets on the phone. I'm sorry. I apologize. So he gets to communicating with my grandmother. He you know, he asks to speak to my grandmother. My grandmother comes out, and my grandmother sits on the porch with my dad. And my dad was talking to her about the well-being, you know, for me, like, you know, the well-being and, you know, how I'm being treated and how he felt, you know, basically he's basically communicating with her about me and stuff and about him as well. And I guess my grandmother didn't like the conversation, and my dad got upset, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if they were about to fist fight. I don't know if it could have got physical. But anyway, my grandmother got up, and as she got up, she stormed in the house. And my dad slammed the door, you know, behind her. Like he kind of like went behind her and slammed the door. And when he slammed the door, yeah, he got a pinch of her finger. Like he almost slammed her finger in the door. But she was fine. She called the police. The police came. Thank God my dad did not go to jail. He wound up home. And that was the issue right there. I wanted to you know, tell you guys. So, yeah. Go ahead, Papi. Papi, ¿qué es lo que te pasa? I'll be right back, guys. Thank you for listening.